All right, guys, let's talk about the co-main event out in Toronto on Saturday. It's UFC 231, and if I'm bobbling my head, it's because I got the bobblehead fever. Joining us here for the breakdown is Dave Manley from MMAbobblehead.com. Guys, let's talk about Valentina Shevchenko versus Joanna Jedrzejczyk. These two young ladies will be fighting for the vacant flyweight title. I almost said interim, sorry. For the vacant flyweight title. That's the 125-pound division that just kind of hasn't really had any life. We had Nico Montano. She got crowned. Next thing you know, she's no longer the champion. So these two ladies, one of them's walking away with the belt, and we're going to break it down right here. Let's start off with the expert here, Dan Tom, our fight analyst. Dan, who do you like in this fight?
Man, I've been breaking down Valentina Shevchenko for some years now, one of my favorite fighters to break down. And people used to always be surprised when I would tell them that she beat Joanna Jedrzejczyk not once, twice, but thrice in Muay Thai. Now it's not a surprise. Now everybody knows. It's kind of a storyline going into this fight. But it's funny. Yeah, they're both completely different fighters. Back then it was Muay Thai and not how you might think of it. It was, a pretty padded up, regulated affairs. It wasn't like, Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, or anything like that. Like they had glass wraps or anything like that. But at the end of the day, it was the bigger, more efficient striker, in my opinion, getting the better of the exchanges. So Valentina got the decision each time, the nod each time they fought. Though different, I see a similar dynamic at heart here. Joanna Jedrzejczyk throws a lot of volume out there, and that could be tricky. The line on this fight spread a bit funny, guys. I mean, you got 4-1 odds, I believe, close to near going each way. That's right, kind of insane.
Minus 345 for Valentina Shevchenko and plus 285 for Joanna Jedrzejczyk. However, there is a great disparity. So if you look at the different houses, you may get something, further off than that. Usually they're all within 5 or 10 points. But yeah, you're right. I've seen up to minus 400.
See, that's a little wide for me because I could see where Jedrzejczyk's volume kind of gets ahead on scorecards. I think Valentina's worst enemy is herself in any fight, especially this fight. We've seen it against Amanda Nunes, fights that people thought were scored for her. Regardless of whether you scored it for her, we all agree it was well within her grasp to win these fights. These were very close losses she's had, and it's because of her lack of volume. I could see if Joanna Jedrzejczyk is on point, can take the power, her durability goes up to 125. She used to fight there before, guys. It was only the UFC she fought down to 115. That durability can stay there. I could see her outpointing Shevchenko. That being said, I'm going to go with the more precise counter fighter in Shevchenko. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunities for her to score, and I think she's going to make those exchanges clear. I'm going to go with Shevchenko by decision, but I'm not as confident as the odds would indicate.
Okay, I'm going to go with Shevchenko as well. You're right, man. Joanna does have a high pace, high volume, and if there's one thing that Valentina, not only has it been something we can hold against her, guys, it's her reluctance to maybe even accept that as a fact as to why she may have lost a couple of those split decisions. Now, that said, that's a smart group. Those Shevchenko sisters have rarely lost. Put them together, and I think there's 4 losses in the history of Muay Thai and MMA. So they'll figure it out. Coach Pavel will get them on point, and I think you're going to see a little bit more of an active Shevchenko. She's got to be active, otherwise she's just going to get jabbed to death, and she definitely doesn't want to do that, or kicked as well. Shevchenko, I think, will start off as a counter, but I think at some point she will turn it on. She'll have the strength advantage. She definitely has the ground advantage, though I don't see the fight being contested on the ground. So I'm going with Valentina Shevchenko here in this one. Goes?
I think the odds makers are a little off here. I think it should be a little bit closer because it is a compelling matchup. They're both really good at what they do, and that's striking. But if this is mixed martial arts, and you have to be a complete fighter, and it's not that Joanna's not. It's just Valentina has shown us that she can win fights other ways. And I think in this fight, it may actually come down to that. I think she may try and test Joanna in a different realm other than just striking. So that being said, I love Joanna to death, and I think she can give Valentina a lot of problems. But I think Valentina's going to go another route, and I think that route is going to be successful for her. So I'm going to take Valentina in this one.
All right, Dave Manley.
Guys, I don't think that the lines makers are a little bit off on this one. I think that they're way off on this one. I think that the line should be a lot closer. There's some intangibles that we're not talking about right now, and that is the experience of Joanna Jedrzejczyk. I mean, what does she have? 6 title defenses, maybe 8 title appearances altogether. She's hungry. She's going to be a little bit bigger. Her output is going to be more than Valentina's, in my opinion, and that volume is going to equal points, and I'm along the lines with Dan Tom, and I say that if this fight goes to decision, we may see Joanna Jedrzejczyk as the new flyweight champion.
All right, Joanna, Valentina. One thing's for sure, it's going to be a great fight. And you can check it out this weekend, UFC 231. That's the co-main event. 2 title fights. Right after that, it's Holloway and Ortega, for crying out loud. Great card. You got to get it. And keep it locked on MMA Junkie throughout the week. We got you covered. We got writers, videographers there in support, and it's going to be a fabulous fight week.